I love that. Ready to receive. You made that, Dan? That's pretty fantastic. I'm impressed. So welcome. Welcome to the final Sunday. So, as I mentioned in our meditation, light is high holy season. Sorry, let me start at the beginning. December 21st, right around now, the winter solstice, longest night of the year. This is also the high holy season for many traditions, and it's always represented by light. Now, what is the light for? Well, remember last month when Tamara did her talk on Diwali, it was a symbol of guiding people home along the way. So in the story, it ended up with everyone in the village putting candles in their window to guide the people home. And so when we think about the darkest moments, we also think about the light and how can that help illuminate what it is we need to do next. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need a whole lot of light. A small, tiny bit will do, especially if it's pitch black. You just need enough light to show you what's right in front of your very next step. Yes, if we had our way, it would be daytime and we'd be able to see the whole trail. But let me ask you, because this is the time of year when people will feel their loneliness the worst, the most, the highest, because this is the time of year where all across our media there are representations of families getting together and presents being opened. And when you don't have it that way, you start to think you're the only one. And it becomes almost embarrassing to say, oh, I'm doing nothing for the holidays. What holidays? And you almost want to eschew the whole idea of a holiday and make it all about Hallmark and it's all their fault for making up such a thing, which could be true to some degree. But the higher vision of a holiday season is when you know that your family and your relations, that everyone, by and large, will have the time off. And because they have time off, they'll make their way to some central point and they'll gather. And that when they gather, things will be good. And then we'll celebrate because when people gather, they've got to have food. And when the food gets cooked, it's all our favorites. And that's sort of how this stuff grows. And then it becomes about the presents. And then it becomes about the sale. And then it becomes about unwrapping something and going into debt, buying something to wrap up in the first place, knowing that tomorrow the returns line is going to be all around the corner. What is happening right now? I think Dr. Seuss might have been onto something when he wrote The Grinch because it wasn't really about the presents, it's about the family getting together. Now, if you don't have the family or if you're not on good terms, that could be the reason why this could be the darkest time for people who lost their loved one or don't have anybody they trust that they can be close to. So, to you, I say, hold strong. That in this time of darkness, that there is enough light to have a bit of a flicker of a little bit of hope, and that's enough for this day and this next step and the next step after that. And move slowly, move carefully. You don't see the whole road because it's kind of dark. All you need to do is take a step. So why do I say all that? And the whole title is all about slithering and sliming to the sublime because snails. Hear me out. Hear me out. A snail. It looks like a big old muscle. Literally, it's made of muscular tissue. And when it moves, it creates a little bit of a slime so that it can move smoothly. I just think it would itch if it didn't have enough slime to move smoothly on the rough surface. I would just think, don't you need a little Vaseline? All right, so it already has self sliming attributes, and it moves slowly and steadily, which if you've read the story about the tortoise and the hare, you know slow and steady wins the race. And there's nothing more important when you're in the dark times of your life than to keep moving but move slowly with purpose and steadily. If you're depressed or prone to depression, what you should not do, even though your whole being is saying, lay down, don't move, it's terrible out there, get under the covers, stay in bed, you got to get up and you got to move. Do one thing, just one thing, slowly, steadily, one thing. And then as you start moving, you can do another thing. And then the path becomes visible, not because you stayed still and got a better light. No. Sometimes the only light you have is that little dim kind of, think flashlight on its last leg, kind of not that bright. It's enough to illumine the next step. And this is how we go. So that's what the slither and slime is all about. Knowing that we're on this path and we have to move. We can't stay still. We have to move. Because if you're not moving, well, I don't want to say the rest. If you're not growing, you're what? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a good direction to go in. So we're gliding into our next yet to be. We are, even right now today, there's something moving through you, you're becoming aware of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if any of the words I say will stick with you and make something happen, but I know it's mine to say them, and it's yours to receive whatever you can. So what movement can you do to take you on your path? What if you're sitting there saying, what's my path? Though I don't think I have a path. Ernest Holmes has something to say about that. In Living the Science of Mind, page 431, he says, do you wish to be happy? This is a foolish question, for who would not be happy? Someone has said that we used to think we had to be well in order to be happy. But now we know that we must be happy if we wish to be well. Happiness must be based on an inward sense of security, a sense of belonging to life and to each other, a desire to give, to be kind and compassionate, and to be able to put ourselves in another person's position. Most of our unhappiness comes from our relationships with others. If we cannot be happy unless some other individual or some group of individuals admires and loves us, we have not yet realized that every person is complete within himself. I'm going to repeat that sentence. Most of our unhappiness comes from our relationship with others. And the second sentence, which really brings it home, if we cannot be happy unless some other individuals or some group of individuals admires and loves us, we have not yet realized that every person is complete within himself or herself. For when we reach back to the true self, which is God in us, we shall have penetrated to the innermost depths of all people. All people. So if you've been putting off liking yourself until you get 1 million subscribers, stop. If you've been putting off loving your surroundings until you get 100,000 likes on your photo of your surroundings, stop. It's enough that you like it, that you love it, that you're grateful for what you have, and you have all that you need. It is that energy that we are appreciative of what we have that causes things to grow. It causes what we love to grow because we love it. And if you were raised with, well, I don't want to be too satisfied with myself because then I'm going to be mediocre. If I'm happy with what I have, or if I'm grateful for all that I currently have, then what's going to give me the energy to go out there and get more? Well, exactly. Exactly. I used to be afraid that if I accepted myself, then I was letting myself off the hook for all the future things that I'm meant to do. That I can't be happy with myself until I get that goal. But then I got that goal and I was like, maybe it's the next goal. So I'm not a slow learner. I catch on pretty fast. And I realized, oh my gosh, it's always going to be like this. It's always going to be like this. So love where you are and bring that with you as you go. And then it's like everything you do is like a happy surprise. Woo, that worked out. Yay. Or, well, that was a failure. Next. Because none of those achievements held your happiness. You brought your happiness with you. And oh my gosh, you're so much more fun to be around when you come in a room and you're not looking for something to get. When you come in a room and you're looking for something to give, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fantastic. If you already feel good enough and then you're here to see other people. Wow, look at you. Look at that outfit. Tell me about your hair. As opposed to, I wonder what they think of me. I'm going to stay in the corner until somebody tells me I'm okay. Think about the energy. This is the divine in you moving forward and okay with yourself. So okay with yourself that you kind of love yourself. Not so blinded that you think that you have no flaws. Oh, you're more intimate with your flaws because you've done that deep shadow work. You've come to embrace the side of you that still could use a little more help. And so when someone else points it out, you can say, "Huh, yep, gotta love me. I'm a work in progress. Oh well." Or, "Sorry, did I hurt you? I really didn't mean that. I'm working on that. I'm my bad. Well, how can I help?" Seriously, already knowing that you're not perfect takes away the power from somebody judging you. It's working. It's working for me. I'm finding all kinds of things out. I'm able to read now and the different reviews that I get when I teach a course. The one guy who said, "She talks too much." I'm like, I do. I totally do. I tell story after story. I torture a metaphor beyond recognition. And I laugh at it while I'm doing it. I'm fully aware this is ridiculous, and I think it's funny. And 9 times out of 10, people are laughing with me. And one guy's like, I wish she would shut up." Well, I'm an instructor. My job is to talk. So shout out to you, though. I do talk a lot. You're right. You're right. What are they going to do? You've already embraced you. It's fantastic when Ernest Holmes says, "Doesn't everybody want to be happy?" Yes, we do. What does that look like? It looks like whatever it looks like. And you don't have to wait till other people approve. Next time someone says something to you about them not approving of what it is you're doing, and I don't know how small it is or big, you could say, "Whew, well, thank God I don't need your approval because I would be stuck back there." Like literally thank God that you don't need their approval to do what you're doing because you're over here doing it. Tell them that and see what they say. Now, my point is not to have their face all, I mean, a cracked face is kind of entertaining. But that's not the goal, right? You're just defending yourself in a fun way that doesn't take anything away from them. Oh, you don't approve of me? Whew, thank God I wasn't needing your approval. So, what about this movement, though? Now, I need to talk to you a little bit about physical movement because I remember hearing Reverend Michael talk one time about how when you give a horse a vitamin or some sort of mineral that is for their bodies to be healthy, you have to walk the horse around. You have to exercise the horse to get the medicine from their digestive system into their muscles or into the rest of their body. It would kill them if they didn't move. And then he made an analogy about us, like when you have a spiritual insight, when you sit and do some visualization and you get a hit about what it is you're meant to do, and then you doubt yourself or you let that stagnate, anytime you get an insight about who you really are, and when you don't move on it, even just a little bit, if you don't move on it, knowing who you are and not doing what you're supposed to do could kill you. What? You, it's kind of dramatic, I'll give you that, but it's true. So case in point, if you're a musician and you can sing like Dan and Aaron, you got that in you, but you're also kind of terrified to sing. So you are you're an accountant. Now, neither of these things are good and bad, but you're a singer at heart and you're an accountant. And every day you're writing the numbers down and you're like, in your head, I should be on stage, I should be singing if I wasn't so shy. And if you then get invited somewhere that causes you to a little bit out of your comfort zone and you deny, you don't do it. Or if somebody calls, anybody want to come up and do the next karaoke, you're pulled, but you pull yourself back. You're drawn, but you say, what'll they think? You know what will make you happy, but a part of you is like, but what will they think? That, that dissonance, the distance between how you behave and how you feel. If you don't bring that into alignment, it will cause stress. It will raise your blood pressure. It will appear in the body in a way that is unique to you and the way you are made up. And I'm not saying that I blame you for coming down with a disease. No, I do not blame, but I do say let's listen to what messages our physical body is sending us. What messages are we getting when we're out of alignment with who we are here to be? And it might be, I always get headaches when I get off the train to come to my job. Oh, tell me more. Or there, so every single part of our bodies, even if you look at the different chakras, we were meant to grow up a certain way and get certain validations in life. And when we go off track, it's visible in your body of affairs or in your body of physical appearance, your physical health body. It's kind of crazy. And to fix it, it does not mean, well, now you got to go to the external medicine person who's going to get you in order and it's go through a battery of operations, although that might be how the divine puts you on your healing path. But the movement could just be movement toward what you're meant to do. So, physical movement, let's first start there. What if you just move to music? There have been shown many traditions, like the Sufi dancing comes to mind, where you see the people spinning and twirling, whirling dervishes. You know what I'm talking about. There's a certain level of bliss that arrives at the movement of the body. And if you look back to our motherland, Africa, how all of the dances have some call to the divine moving through the body. If you've seen that movie Sinners, you know what I'm talking about. So the way that dance plus music brings a certain coherence, a divine alignment that gets you in a space, and it's you. I don't have words, but it's a lot. It's a lot. You could do it. Movement could be just moving to music and doing what it feels that is meant for you to do. Now, what that does is it clears energy that might be stuck. So, as I mentioned before, as we're growing up, we might encounter certain situations where maybe you were forced to be too grown up for the given situation at hand. Sorry, people expected a 5-year-old to act like a 15-year-old kind of scenario. If you weren't allowed to move through your childhood in a way that was appropriate to the age, then you could have skipped some steps and that could be caught, some energy being caught in the body that needs to be cleared, let's say. And so there's a lot of practices that'll get you through the emotional and physical clearing of energies. But one really great way is to just dance. Just dance. Swaying slowly to something and humming and tapping your chest. That's a somatic healing pattern that we learned from our grandmothers. The way, oh, baby, come here and just, mm. The way you just melt. Think about it, just melting. Even if you've never had that, you can kind of feel what that would be like because it's so visceral to us. So that's an example of physical movement that could help us align with our divine purpose, clearing out anything that we've remembered, anything that our bodies have held on to that no longer serves us, clearing it out with the movement of the body. And sometimes just stating an intention for what it is you do want to experience next in your life, which is what we'll be doing next Sunday. We'll be releasing anything from 2025 that did not serve us, and then moving into a new year, a new world where what do we want to experience? because that's the last Sunday, actually. This is not the last Sunday. I just did the math. Y'all probably were way ahead of me. I get it. That's cute. But we are going to be releasing anything that didn't serve. Because what we get to do at the calendar of New Year is something we could do every moment, but something about turning that page on that calendar that says, this is a new deck of cards. This is a new deck of calendar days. Something about starting new that everybody sort of agrees with. It's perfect time to kind of declare who it is you want to be. In that experience, we will just name what it is that you've become aware of that you don't want to bring with you into your next stage of life, which is this next year. So I want for you this week to notice how you feel. Just notice. You're taking notes during the day, during the evening, as much as you can remember this week, you're gathering information. The information will tell you what you want to hold on to and expand on. What no longer serves you, you'll release it in our burning bowl ceremony. And then you'll have a vision for what the universe and the divine God, whatever you call her, what is the highest vision for your life? That is going to be how we start to embrace where we're going because we have no intention of standing still, no intention of moving backwards. Every intention of slithering and sliming our way to our next yet to be. I look forward to doing that with you. So let's go into prayer. There's one divine power, one presence, one energy, and that is what we call God, what we call life, energy, potential. It is God. It is my life right now. I cannot go anywhere and not be in the presence of the one. It is in and as and through all things. In fact, life is pulsing with the presence and the energy of the one. And so as I simply turn toward that awareness and that presence, I know that all my needs are met. I know that right here and right now, all is unfolding in order. And I do know that for me and for this community, all is well, that we are a group of like-minded souls, part of a bigger organization whose goal is to make this entire world a better place for all of us, each and every one of us. We all deserve to be happy, whole, and to live in our most dynamic individuality, being accepted and loved for who and what we really are, and adding to the beauty and the brilliance of life on this planet. I speak my word for any place on this beautiful blue, pale blue dot in the universe. I speak my word. If any space is feeling any sense of lack, that in that moment, in that space, also there is an awareness of wholeness. There is no lack. That rushing in is the all and the allness of sufficiency, whatever is needed in that space, be it love, power, peace, wholeness, abundance, joy, wealth, friendship, happiness, whatever is needed where there's currently a sense of lack. I speak my word that it is appearing right now. It is showing up in ways that are beyond belief. I gratefully accept each of these blessings as they arrive. I know that all is well. We are up to the task. We are blessed. I release my word into the law, knowing that the divine always says yes. And so I simply say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen and Ashe.